I had school that day, so I couldn't stay, but I waited to hear what my mom had to say. I asked about something my teacher had said, that our country was split between blue states and red. I asked what it meant and if it was true, and which one were we, the red or the blue? My mother told me,
I'll explain it to you. We think the right way, so we're totally blue. Since we're blue, we look forward to how things will change, for progress is good, not scary or strange. We respect different views than we might have today. Each one should be heard, every one gets a say. As blues, we're convinced no one answer must fit. You don't have to conform, not one little bit. We believe that we all must help those in need, 'cause it takes the whole village to grow every seed. We push for accepting each culture and race. Every one is important, each one has its place. If we must, we'll protest for everyone's rights. A good life, you know, isn't just for straight whites. We're idealists protecting what's made us so strong. Every group that first came here once did not belong. Our founding fathers would call it a crime to give it all up after all of this time. Our America should be the ideal we teach. To be blue means we practice the things that we preach.
She smiled and I knew Mom was proud to be blue. Then she hugged me and said she had things to do. But I still had a question as I sat and I sat. Mom, what about red states? Don't they believe that? And I asked if my teacher was right or was wrong when she said that both states could still get along. My mom looked at me, then she sat right back down and told me all this with a sigh and a frown.
The red states have gone with the wrong way to think, and once I explain it, you'll see why they stink. In the red, they're afraid of most anything new, that thinking itself is a bad thing to do. They tell everyone we're the liberal mob, and see each of us as some big city snob. We're just thoughtful, compassionate people who care. But to red states it means that they have to beware. They want to go back to some simpler time when commandments from God told them what was a crime. They want to tell everyone else what is right, like whom you can marry or sleep with at night. And when it comes to TV, listen to this. A killing is better to show than a kiss, and some secret agenda cooked up by gays ends life as we know it one of these days. They'll close off our borders, then put up a wall, and English would have to be spoken by all. They love NASCAR and hunting and poisoning the earth, but they're all up in arms about who's giving birth. They love fast food and Fox News and talk radio, prayer in our schools and their rifles in rows. With just reds around, there'd be slaves in the South, and those HBO guys would have soap in their mouth. There'd be no vote for women, but they could have a gun. They'd ban dancing and singing and all kinds of fun. And if you admit some American flaws, they'll ask you to leave and take your in-laws. They live in a world with their heads in the sand. Then they call us extreme when we take a stand. They just close their ears when we ask them to think, so their minds start to rot, then get smaller and shrink. Using logic or facts is the last thing to do. If it's not in the Bible, it just isn't true. To them, science is never enough of a proof, and to teach evolution just means you're aloof. It's a war that we're fighting, one we can't lose. Everyone has a side that they now have to choose. I won't say they're stupid, but sometimes I know we'd be much better off if the Reds would just go. They're against what I know makes America great, and that's why the Reds are the people I hate.
So that's what I learned from my mother that day. and I walked on to school, stopping once on the way to meet my best friend and hear what she'd say. And I wondered if she also knew I was blue, and that anyone red just wouldn't do. If she thought that our teacher was wrong, that we must all agree for us to be strong, then there wasn't a way we could all get along. So I asked her the question going round in my head, if blue states are so smart, why are so many red?